right? What's going on, y'all? Back on that video. Got me a new alpaca, poncho. Definitely worth the price. All right, 150 soles, but give them some tip money, to keep them in business. It's about 200 soles, about what, $60 in total. But I love it, man. I love it here. This is a nice park here in Cusco, Peru. All right, I need some glasses. I'm literally facing the sun right now. But I came here to talk to you guys for a little bit. Today is May 27, 2026. It's been exactly 10 years to this day that I graduated high school. And high school isn't end all be all. I mean, I think high school will be phased out in the next 20 years because you got kids now, 10-year-olds, 12-year-olds. I mean, they're in my family. Downloading Cloudbot, they're making money. They're going to probably be able to pay for their own rent, especially down here, $500 a month on rent, as a 15-year-old using Cloudbot. So this whole idea of going to high school and 13 years of public school, not knowing what's going on, it's come to an end. But I want to make a video for the next generation as it comes to the real world, and just give you guys a level of just wisdom. As I've been in the real world for about 10 years, and we all been lied to. And I was a bit frustrated when I came out of high school, May 27, 2016. So let me give you guys some free game, right? Because this is the game of life, right? People are getting played right now. Especially the boomers right now, and don't hate the boomers. They were just playing their part in history. All right, after World War II, the boomers' parents, right, the silent generation, they had a lot of kids, and we weren't ready for this. We didn't build enough homes for the boomers, and that's why the home price went up. And then they speculated in the stock market, and then the equity markets in the 1990s, and then the housing market. So it's constant gambling in our society. And this is leading to people, breaking right now. But let me give y'all, especially if you come out of high school, some free information, all right, that's going to help you out. First thing first, time is your most valuable asset. Right, a lot of you guys will come to the real world and you're going to listen to your parents with all due respect, and they're going to tell you to go to school, get a good job, even go to college, even go to the military. Understand that all that is time. The time you spend, there are literally people in the military right now. And, I seen a video of a guy, he was showing like the actual food as he's out there in the ocean, and they're getting no care packages. They haven't seen his family in months. And look at what they're eating. Look at the nutrients in the food. It's not good. But this is what we're sold. We're sold to go out here and sell our bodies because we're poor. So you want me to go out here and fight for this government, popular Israel, because we're poor. I'm gonna tell you something that you won't even hear at home or school or even at these shops. Nobody will tell you this. A lot of folks that I work with went to the military because of money. So to not understand how time works, how to price time, how money works, is literally wasting your time. The average person works 2,000 hours a year, right? That's 20,000 hours in 10 years, all right? How many hours does Generation Z have saved up? To spend 20,000 hours, working for the US dollar for the last 10 years and to not have any time saved is a problem. For the boomers to be 60 years old and having to still go back to work is a problem. And then they raised our parents. So you got to understand that we are living through a time where generation curses are still going on, and somebody got to break it. Is it going to be you? But being here, man, this is a beautiful place here in Cusco. Look at this beautiful church. Look at that church, folks. Look at that church. Look at that, guys. You got the church over there. You got the Inca, nice over there, the Inca statue over there. Got some more historical buildings over there, but it's a really nice place, man. I would definitely recommend it to everybody. But also, before I continue on with this topic, when you come here to Peru, bro, especially a place like this where it's very public, people will come up to you trying to sell you everything, man. I got stopped like 10 times. So I had to say no many times. It will literally get you comfortable with negotiation with people because life is sales. But when you're in America, right, I tell you this, man, you're being scammed everywhere. Insurance companies, I mentioned child support and food stamps. I'm not saying I don't have a heart, but like Michael Beck said, when you're being so dependent on the state, all right, you don't know how. Now you don't really know how to fish. And last year what I saw in my family was Negroes who are dependent on the state via food stamps, and then what happened? They shut off SNAP. They literally were sitting there waiting on the government to get them, food stamps. So people have not learned how to fish, man, in a long time in this country. Think about what public school is. You go to public school for 40 hours a week, and you come out in the real world, it's 40 hours a week, and you have a lunch break, that's about an hour. It's like they're getting you ready for a job. They're not going to get you ready for entrepreneurship. Understand that. So you have to literally understand that, man, because that's something that I started realizing as I got to the real world. I started realizing that people, especially boomers, for all due respect, don't know what's going on. Ask so many boomers, right? Do you know about Executive Order 6102, right? When gold was banned here in 1933, they don't know. So they don't know how gold works. They raised our parents. So we are living in a financially illiterate society, man, where we don't understand how to value our time. I mean, you want me to go out here and sell the most valuable thing that I have, which is my time. That's crazy to me. So that's why I will preach, man. You come out of high school, bro, just have a mindset of growth. You know, people, like I said, people are using these cloud bots. They're my family. They're young. They're using these cloud bots, bro. They're making money. That's what life should be. I mean, life should not be getting harder and harder and harder. But let's talk about here, okay? And let's talk about, I'll say, we're all being sold something. And I kind of mentioned that already. All right, we're all being sold something, guys. That's why me being here, I'm seeing it clear as day. Hey, my friend. Hey, my friend. I mean, I walk past all these restaurants over here. Hey, my friend. Hey, my friend. But I'm being sold. And guys, look at that, guys. I'm wearing this nice behind alpaca, and people seeing this, they may see wealth. They're like, hold on, this guy got some, you know, Nike shoes on. He got the alpaca jacket. You know, I'm constantly being sold everywhere I go here. And I'm not trying to say that to be harsh, but you know, at least I know what I'm getting. When you're in America, you don't know what the fuck you're being sold, bro. And when they sell you something, they're selling you bullshit. You know what I'm saying? People going to college, they're expecting a job when they leave college, bro. They're coming out, they don't know what's going on. You know, so it's like they were sold a lifestyle of, you know, after I come out, I'm guaranteed a job. That's not how the world works. They were sold lies. So you got to understand, man, you got to sell yourself on a better dream. You know, the American dream, you have to be sleep to really fall for the American dream, which is having 30-year mortgage, you know, being a debt slave, you know, not valuing your actual time in America, right? So I'm trying to realize that, you know, why do I just sell myself on a better dream? You know, the dream of coming here, man, and just getting some land. Like, bro, this is Cusco, man. Cusco is a beautiful place, you know? But yeah, man, we're all being sold something, and understand that when we come out of high school, man, they're gonna have you try and get all this college debt, man, all this, you know, all this credit card debt. I mean, it's so eye-opening to me. You know, we come down here and then seeing that you're not a lane for staying with your parents. You know, if you're 18 years old, 21 years old, even being like almost 30 years old, in America, you're a lane for paying $2K a month. You know, I mean, for staying with your parents. I mean, for literally staying with your parents and not wanting to go out there and find your own place and paying $2K a month for rent, bro. That's crazy to me. So you mean tell me that I'm a lane for staying with my parents and, you know, spend time with them, and, you know, as they're getting older, getting to know them better? That's America for you. You know, so that's what I tell you guys. Think for yourself, man. Think for yourself. Have a plan for your life and know exactly what you want, man. Know exactly what you want. Whew, man, I'm just going in today. Next one is being different, right? It's okay to be different, man. I haven't seen that one black person today, bro. When I was in Quito, I seen a lot of people that were chocolate, bro. You down here, you're gonna stand out like a sore thumb. That's why I'm being sold everywhere I go. Like, people looking at me, they're like, who is this guy? But it's not weird, guys. It's just that there's no black people down here. Like none, like zero. So what that's gonna have me do is stand out. You know, Negroes going to college, they going to Colombia, and we all know why. They going to Brazil, we all know why. But they're not coming here, man. And especially since it's cold here. I mean, it's kind of cold. At nighttime, it goes down to about 40 degrees here in Cusco. So keep that in mind, man. Especially if you're African American, you want to be different. You want to stand out. Okay. Imagine when you become bilingual, right? You speak fluent Spanish, man. You come down here, you buy some land, you know, open up your own restaurant, right? I might open up my own juice spot, man. Chicha Morada, you know, Maracuya, it's everywhere, bro. Like, be different. That's the one thing about the States, man. People will literally clown you. They will literally act weird, man, for you being different. You know, I'm seeing all these videos on YouTube of people that have left America, and they say that America is like a crab in the bucket mentality, where there's so much jealousy and envy, and, you know, it's like, for what? You know, for what? So much jealousy and envy, man. I have a whole new channel where it's really taking off. And this one girl, she was commenting on my new channel. And she said that she's from Ecuador, right? And she's been in Babylon for about 6 months now. She doesn't have not one friend. That to me is crazy. That to me is crazy. How are you in Babylon and you don't have not one friend? But then I realized, okay, this place is not healthy socially. You know what I'm saying? I go to the restaurant. I was in Lima, Peru, right? I was in Lima, Peru. My favorite restaurant. After they got to know me, they asked me by my full name. They said, hola. I literally entered the restaurant. They'd be like, hola, Senor Howard. What? They're calling me Mr. and then my last name, right, Mr. Howard. I'm like, what? In what place in Babylon where a brother like myself, you know, to be treated this good? I'm serious. So this is what it's like to come to a environment where people actually value you. And yes, it could be because I'm from a wealthy country, but bro, this shit is real. You know, every restaurant I go into, man, fresh fruits, fresh vegetables, people just different, man. Different. Parents here holding their kids' hands, you know, when they leave school and they're walking with them back home. This is healthy to me. It's very healthy, man. Whew. But yeah, I'm about to end this video. I don't want to make it too long. I just want to give you guys some free information about the real world. You know, if you're coming out to the real world, understand that it's not what you think it is. You know, people aren't that real as they used to be. There's a lot of masks, all right? A lot of masks, especially at these jobs. You know, I would highly recommend that you guys think for yourself and start to question everything, even what your parents are telling you. And ask yourself a question right now, guys. If you're getting information from your family, with all due respect, especially if you're African American, let me ask you guys a question. If your aunties, uncles, grandparents, even parents, with all due respect, give you advice, look at their life. Are they free? I'm serious, man, because this is why I think a lot of us aren't free. We're not really understanding this game. This is why us African Americans are in the same spot, bro. It's been 400 years, bro. This is crazy. 400 freaking years. And we're in the same spot. You know, I called back home and I finally figured out, you know, what happened, you know, to our wealth. Bro, people in our family sold our family farm in the 1980s. I mean, how stupid was that? And now people are bitching and whining about going to Walmart and paying $9 for eggs. We could have been free, but we don't understand wealth as African Americans, bro. I said, are you serious, uncle and auntie? They're telling me that we had a family farm, bro. We were growing oranges, man. We had strawberries. We had all kind of stuff, man. I'm like, are you serious? And now we're sitting here as black folks suffering, bro. We gotta change the game, man. We gotta stop going to send our kids to the public school system. Stop saving the US dollar. We gotta actually think for ourselves, guys, and be sovereign, because that's what happened, man. Malcolm X talked about it, us being on welfare. I mean, we're too dependent on the state, bro. That's facts, bro. Until African Americans start realizing now, we ain't gonna ever be free, bro. That's facts. So I pray and hope, I just hope and pray that we just think for ourselves, start to realize that people actually value us, man. Go where you appreciate it, not where you tolerate it, man. I'm serious, bro. It's just kind of weird seeing us just sit here, bro. After 400 years, bro, that's crazy. 400, how is this possible, bro? So they have programmed us very well, man, to just accept all this stuff, man. And we're just eating it up. I realized that we weren't given 40 acres in a mule, but we can get 40 million sats in an alpaca, bro. I'm serious, bro. Like, we can at least get 40 million satoshis in an alpaca, at least. I get Master didn't give us the 40 acres in the mule, but again, stop complaining, bro. But yeah, man, I just leave right there, man. Like I say, guys, think for yourself. And it's gonna be all right, man. I think people are just so scared because they don't understand what's going on right now. If you study history, guys, you understand that empires falls and empires rise, guys. The Inca Empire rose and it also fell. You know what I'm saying? I'll repeat, the Inca Empire rose and then it fell. So if you understand that it's gonna rain, you know what I'm saying? Because there's a whole entire rain cycle, all right? If you understand that one day your parents are gonna pass away, it's just a cycle of life. We have an empire that has printed so much paper money, they have enslaved so many people that it has to collapse, guys, at this point. Look at how many Americans don't even have $100, $500 for an emergency, bro. It's obviously overdue. Some of you don't even like your jobs. So it's obviously, guys, we need some kind of reset. And I think it's gonna happen. I mean, they're gonna force one, I believe, by pushing the house price. Pushing the house price up, the gas price up. We're gonna have electric vehicles that are gonna be, controlled by AI. You know what I'm saying? We're gonna have flying vehicles. I mean, we already got like drone-like vehicles. I watched a movie called Mercy with my dad right before I left America. But in that movie Mercy, they had drone-like vehicles, bro. The cops were just flying around in these massive drones. It's crazy, bro. So I'm like, we're already here. China already has these drone-like vehicles, but we don't really have a system to really scale this right now. So I think we're gonna be able to scale this, in the next couple of years as we build all these. I mean, America spent $100 billion on a data center, bro. That's crazy. How's that possible? $100 billion. They're spending $1 billion on a war. How is this possible, bro? Because it's corrupted at the core. So we're gonna have to gut this bad boy out, and let nature work, and then let's reset this bad boy so that we can actually go out here and build, guys. We're pretty much work for the boomers at this point. So I'm excited for the future, man, because it's gonna be a lot more freedom for people who actually want it. You know what I'm saying? If you don't want it, they got a plan for you. But if you do want it, the whole world is your oyster at this point. So I'll leave it right there for you guys, man. Stay focused. Stay positive too, man, because the world don't have to be negative. We just are thinking negative because of the current system. You know what I'm saying? Things are gonna be so negative, man. We can actually be positive, see the world as a cycle, man. It's just one big cycle, guys. That's all it is, man. America rose, and now it's collapsing in real time, and the wealth is going from Babylon to places where people actually value. That's really how I see it, guys. So yeah, I leave right there, guys. If you guys are in high school, I wish you good luck. Like all my cousins, man. I got about 8 cousins right now graduating right now. So I love you guys, and I'll see you on my next video. Peace.